Good morning, traders. This is Shane Scott, the moderator of Newsware's Trade Talk. At Trade Talk, we're providing you with the most up-to-the-minute news on the market, along with the facts, themes, and short-term trading ideas for the day ahead. Joining me this morning is our trading anchor, Bill Olson, who brings over 30 years of institutional trading knowledge to our program. Let's get things started with our markets update. U.S. futures are mixed this morning, with S&P futures up 0.04%, Dow futures down 0.04%, and NASDAQ futures up 0.27%. Positive earnings have boosted market sentiment today, while Treasuries have dropped ahead of the Federal Reserve's rate decision. Alphabet and Microsoft are gaining in pre-market after their sales topped estimates, while Apple dropped 0.9% on concern over slower growth. Elsewhere in markets, WTI crude oil is trading above $72 a barrel. Over in China, equities have swung between gains and losses as the state's media works try to reassure investors about the country's regulatory crackdown. The Hang Seng Index has reversed losses after being on the verge of a bear market. Bill, what are you seeing as far as market updates?
I don't know. I'm watching the S&Ps. The fact of the matter is you get a Fed meeting today, and the S&Ps aren't going to really be very directional ahead of a big event such as an FOMC announcement. So, you look at the S&Ps, they're up 0.02, which is, positive. You had really good earnings last night. You had some really strong numbers, so that was a positive. But to carry that over into a Fed meeting, it's always a little bit difficult. So, yeah, I'm not expecting the market to do some really power, pedal to the metal movement in the morning, only for the fact that there's caution in the winds with the Fed coming out to speak later this afternoon. That really is a key catalyst for today, that Fed announcement. The other key catalyst is obviously the earnings announcements that are coming out, Facebook, PayPal, and tomorrow we have Amazon. These are ones that people will be watching and they will be trading on. They will be dictating the movement of the markets. I look at Europe. Europe is slightly higher. That's always a plus going into the markets. I look at what's going on over in Asia. Tokyo was down. Why? Because the COVID-19 spikes continue to create an issue over there. China was down. China's almost, that's the number of days in a row it's down. Hong Kong bounced a little bit, but I don't think they're out of the woods yet for their bear market in terms of tech stocks for China, as the Chinese are still look to be doing more crackdowns. So you got to be cautious with those securities. But all in all, I'm positive on the day. I like the earnings announcements that came out. I like a lot of stocks that are releasing earnings today. We got a Fed announcement, so there's going to be lots of opportunities to trade today, Shane.
We've had some great earnings that came out already. Bill, let's talk about earnings to watch. Google seemed to do very well. Why don't you tell us about it?
Come on, they beat by $8.05, $8 and a nickel on higher revenue. That's why the stock is up 1.61%. You look at a stock like Google, 1.16% is $44. That's a nice move. You look at Microsoft, ticker MSFT, they beat by 27 cents on higher revenue, and they brought in the most revenue for a quarter ever. So Microsoft's really off to the races today. You look at Starbucks, ticker SBUX, Samboy under X-ray. They beat by 25 cents. They did it on higher revenue, but the stock got ahead of itself. That's why you're seeing it down 3.32% this morning. Visa, ticker V as in Victor. They beat by 14 cents on higher revenue. Important to note, MasterCard is coming out today. Mattel, that's ticker MAT, the toy manufacturer. They beat by 9 cents. They were expected to lose money. They beat by 9 cents. And they did it on higher revenue. That Hasbro announcement the day before was a very good indicator. You look at Apple. Apple beat by 30 cents. They did it on higher revenue. AMD beat by 9 cents. They did it on higher revenue. Moody's came out this morning. They beat by 48 cents on higher revenue. McDonald's, they beat by 29 cents on higher revenue. Stock was a little ahead of itself, but it's just trading slightly off this morning. And Boeing just came in with a $1.20 beat, $1.20. So they did do it on lower revenue, but that was a huge beat for Boeing. You look at the stock today, it's up 5.88%. It's up over $13. If you're long shares of Boeing going into this earnings, you're a happy person today. So yeah, there's a lot of good earnings that came out today and last night, Shane.
Certainly a lot more good ones to come. Bill, tell us what we're seeing as far as upcoming earning announcements.
iRobot, that's ticker IRBT, India Richard Boy Tom. This could be interesting. There's some seasonality here. I mean, they seem to sell a lot of their vacuum cleaners during the third and fourth quarters, but iRobot's going to be releasing our earnings this afternoon. Expected EPS is 31 cents. The expected move here is 12.23%. Now we got to get into some of the juggernauts, Facebook, ticker FB, Frank Boyd. Their earnings per share estimate is $3.03. The expected move here is 5.66%. Let's not forget PayPal, PYPL, Paul Yellow, Paul Larry. EPS here, expectations is for $1.12. The expected move here is 4.93%. They're a little too tied to cryptos, but we'll have to see what happens with PayPal when they release earnings. Then we have firms like Merck coming out tomorrow, ticker MRK. Their earnings per share estimate is $1.74, and their expected move is 2.62%. Pinterest, that's ticker PINS, they're coming out tomorrow. Expected EPS estimate is 12 cents. The expected move there is 11.86%. MasterCard, ticker MA. The expected move here is 3.97%. American Towers, EPS estimate is $1.28 with the expected move of 5.05%. And Citrix System, that's ticker CTXS, Charlie Tom X-Ray Sam. Their EPS estimate is $1.19. The expected move here is $5.49. This could be an interesting one. But those are some of the interesting earnings that I see coming up, Shane.
Well, let's talk about economic reports. I know we've got the heavily awaited FOMC meeting today, but what else are we looking at, Bill?
We got the international trade in goods, the advance number coming out at 8:30 a.m. this morning. Also at 8:30, we have retail inventories and the wholesale inventories, the advance number coming out this morning. Later this morning, 10:30 a.m., you get the official data from the EIA, a division of the Department of Energy, with the oil stockpiles report. This should be interesting. And it really will be make the direction of crude oil today. And then at 2 o'clock, you get the FOMC announcement. That's the time when everybody's going to be paying attention to their screens. That's followed, I should say, by a 2:30 press conference by Jerome Powell. But that's the big ones, economic reports coming out today, Shane.
Moving into our morning's critical insights, starting things off with one on Linde, ticker LIN. The company has started up its new on-site facility in Qinzhou, China, supplying oxygen and other industrial gases to Shanghai Huayi's new chemical complex. The new facility is comprised of 3 air separation units, which will supply up to 7,500 tons per day of oxygen and 5,000 tons of nitrogen. In other news, support.com, ticker SPRT, is up 18.6% in pre-market and is the second highest trending ticker symbol on a stock market social media site this morning. News on Investors Bancorp, ticker ISBC, the holding company for Investors Bank, has agreed this morning to be acquired by Citizens Financial Group, ticker CFG, for a combination of stock and cash totaling $3.5 billion. In other news, Avery Dennison, ticker AVY, has signed an agreement to acquire Vestcom, a privately held pricing and brand labeling company, for $1.45 billion. Elsewhere on the tape, GlaxoSmithKline, ticker GSK, and Vir Biotechnology, ticker VIR, have signed a joint procurement agreement with the European Commission to supply up to 220,000 doses of their COVID vaccine. GSK's share price is up 0.94% in pre-market. Here's some news on Activision Blizzard, ticker ATVI. The CEO sent a letter promising to resolve workplace harassment and remove inappropriate content from video games after yesterday's employee uproar. So employees have been planning a walkout for today to protest how the company has handled the harassment claims by the state of California, which claims that the company pays and promotes female employees less than their male peers, and that female employees are subject to constant harassment. So we will see if that protest actually goes through now that the CEO is taking some leaps to try to placate everyone. Activision share price is up 1.19% in pre-market. News on Walmart, ticker WMT. Walmart will be partnering with Adobe, ticker ADBE, to integrate Walmart's marketplace, online and storefront fulfillment and pickup technologies with Adobe Commerce. Through the Adobe Commerce platform, retail businesses will be able to use Walmart cloud-based services to offer pickup and delivery to their customers. Walmart's share price is down 0.24% in pre-market, while Adobe's is up 0.2%. Swivel, a Dubai-based ride-sharing startup, is close to reaching a merger deal with the SPAC Queen's Gambit Growth Capital, ticker GMBT. The combined company value would be $1.5 billion. Once the transaction is complete, Swivel, which currently serves in the Middle East and Africa, plans to expand to Latin America as well as Europe. Elsewhere on the tape, Lloyd's Banking Group, ticker LYG, has reached a deal to acquire Embark Group, a privately owned provider of retirement products, for $555.4 million. The agreement could be announced on Thursday, along with the bank's half-year financial results. If completed, the deal would ensure payouts for asset managers BlackRock, ticker BLK, Franklin Templeton, ticker BEN, and Legg Mason, ticker LM, all of which hold minority stakes in Embark Group. Lastly, for me, one on DraftKings, ticker DKNG. DraftKings has made a deal with the Boston Red Sox to become the team's daily fantasy sports provider of the franchise. DraftKings will in turn have its brand displayed throughout Fenway Park. DraftKings share price is down 0.21% in pre-market. Bill, what are you seeing as far as this morning's news?
Well, Shane, I break my news alerts down into specific sectors. I'm looking at specific industries. I'm looking at specific events. And, today's a good day because there's a lot of both. I'm looking at Apple. Apple did deliver that blowout third quarter earnings, but the shares are falling down. It's not really earnings concern. It is, but it's really about the supply chain. There are supply chain constraints here. You look at the brokers, they're still raising price targets. They're still raising them. But the point of the issue is they can't get chips, and by not being able to get all the chips that they need, that hurts their iPhone sales. That hurts their iMac sales. That hurts the iPad sales. So they're going to have less product to really go out to the market with, and that could actually, that's the reason why you're seeing Apple pull back today. Not because they're not selling good products. They are. Yes, there's demand for them. They just can't meet it because of the chip shortage. Google, I'm looking at Google this morning, and I see the brokers across the board are really raising price targets after that big EPS beat that Google delivered last night. Microsoft, they finished with another record-breaking quarter, more than $60 billion in profit and over $165 billion in sales. I mean, that's just huge. Tesla, ticker TSLA, they're launching a major shift in their retail strategy. They're looking for cheaper locations, more remote working type situations as they go forward. In Twitter, the social media company is thought to be fastly losing its sheen as a communication tool for many of the people in the Indian governments. Because why? They keep thumbing their nose at the India's compliance. So, there's a little bit of an issue going on between Twitter and the country of India these days. I'm looking at my Dow 30 alert. Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is planning to auction its first ever NFT collectibles. I believe they're doing that July 30th. You look at Pfizer; they're raising estimates, for 2021 on sales of their COVID vaccine. Value. They're looking at $33.5 billion there. These guys are just continuing to produce this vaccine, and they're doing it at a record pace. Walmart, I saw that thing about Walmart and Adobe. The key thing here is Walmart has the biggest data center in the world outside of the United States government. They track everything you do, and this is a really big benefit for firms like Adobe. Also in my Dow 30, Visa beat estimates, yesterday. They're saying domestic spending is almost back to pre-pandemic levels, and international travel, is set to recover as rising vaccination and reopenings of economies are really taking effect. So that's really positive for shares of Visa. You look at the options market, it's all about the rising volatility in these Chinese stocks. Look at Baidu, ticker BIDU. The 30-day option implied volatility is at 54. 52-week range is 31 to 85. Ticker LI, Larry India, which is Li Autos. The 30-day option implied volatility is at 94. 52-week range is 60 to 178. And ticker PDD, Paul David David, the 30-day option implied volatility is at 85 compared to the 52-week range of 43 to 85. Yeah, these Chinese stocks are under pressure. I look at events today. Booz Allen, ticker BAH, Boy, Apple, Henry. Booz Allen is having a shareholders meeting today that starts at 8 a.m. And then, of course, we have CAMP, C-A-M-P, which is CalAmp Corp. They're having a shareholders meeting today that starts at 1 p.m. Eastern time, Shane. But that's what I have for the hot stories going on today, Shane.
Let's talk about our Trade Talk picks for today. I'm picking Adobe, ticker ADBE, and this is off the news that they are partnering with Walmart and trading technology. So this is good news for both of them, and this is something that we're already seeing some positivity in pre-market for Adobe on, and I expect them to move higher on it. So that's my pick. What's your pick looking like, Bill?
I'm going with CubeSmart. That's ticker CUBE, Charlie Under Boy Edward. Earnings are due out tomorrow morning. Stock is priced for a 5.36% move. One of the things I like to do, I like to see what the CEO says. You know, are they positive, are they negative on the stock? And here, last quarter in the earnings release, the CEO made the following statement. As we enter into the busiest rental season, record high occupancy, and an improving macroeconomic backdrop will continue to provide positive operating environment. You know, that type of statement is all I need. I'm done. I'm long the stock. I think Cube is going to have a nice beat tomorrow morning. Ticker CUBE.
Well, moving into what's hot off the press, it's the news. It's hitting the tape as we speak, moving the stocks today. Let's talk about it. Bill, which of the stories we should be letting traders know about?
Visa's getting multiple price target upgrades this morning, Shane. Ticker V.
Bluebird Bio, ticker BLU, has just entered into a strategic alliance with National Resilience for cell therapies.
Ticker AMD, Apple Michael David, according to Jefferies, server share gain thesis is playing out well.
Takeda, ticker TAK, has been granted a green light by the FDA for their oral treatment Orexin to treat narcolepsy.
Here's one on Boeing, ticker BA. Boeing continues to expect the first 777X delivery in late 2023. Boeing also continues to see passenger traffic returning to 2019 levels in 2023 to 2024. Here's one for Verizon, ticker VZ. The Air National Guard awards a contract to Verizon for digital modernization. Here's one on Toll Brothers, ticker TOL. Toll Brothers and HQ Capital announced a joint venture to develop rental communities.
Anything else interesting for you, Bill?
No, that's all I'm seeing today, Shane.
That'll do it for what's hot off the press. Traders, keep in mind you can receive the same breaking stories we do simply by subscribing at newsware.com. Check us out for a free trial. Moving into our scoreboard, talking about how our picks did from Tuesday. I had Apple, ticker AAPL, which opened at $149.12 and closed at $146.77 for a 1.57% loss. They had a good earnings beat today, 30 cents higher on higher revenue, but some concern about slower production. So that's taken them down a notch. Otherwise, I think that they're set to keep moving higher at some point soon. Even analysts are putting their price target on Apple up to $185. So I think it's one to hold on to if you did get it. But that's how that one did. How did yours end up doing, Bill?
I did Bungie. I ticker BG, Boy Grace. Stock opened up at $74.75 and ran as high as $75.54. It closed out at 75.20, which is still positive on the day, which is nice. But the real move, this was an earnings play. And, the earnings came out this morning. They delivered a strong beat and the stock really moved. You see the stock in the pre-market today, it traded as high as $78.34. That's a 4.8% move from this morning's price as compared to yesterday's open price. So it looks really good, like it's going to open up strong. So my pick yesterday of BG was right on the money, and it was a good call all along.
Nice. Well, that's going to do it for us here at Trade Talk. But traders, you know what to do. Let's get out there. Let's make some green.